Hello, my name is John Lord, and I am your instructor for Accounting 111 this term. Welcome. Um, I have, as you can see on the screen, the e-learning information for this course. I'm going to sort of go over this and show you the way it's organized. Um, The course title is Accounting 111. I've talked to our e-learning administrative folks, and they're going to take that 211 off. So it's Accounting 111, the auditing course. And my name is John Lord. I am a CPA in the state of California. I got my license through experience with the Government Accountability Office, where I spent 26 years doing audits of various federal agencies, financial statement audits of different agencies. And you'll see in some of the recorded lectures, I'll refer to those in helping you to understand, to illustrate the concepts that we'll be talking about in this class. I retired from the GAO in 2014, so I've been out of that work for some time now, but I think many of the references are still particularly relevant. Um, I've been teaching for over 30 years. So while I was working for the GAO, I started teaching the CPA exam with Becker Professional Education. And I've been doing that for over 30 years and then decided to retire and teach full time in 2014 and have taught with obviously Golden Gate. In fact, I started teaching with Golden Gate back in 2000. So I've been with Golden Gate for quite a while now as well. But in 2014, I started teaching for the state of California at San Francisco State, San Jose State, and UC Berkeley. Retired from that about 10 years ago. And I continue to teach again, obviously, at Golden Gate, where I'm the director of the CPA Applied program. Some of you may be aware of that program, in which we offer 4 courses that not only get you the units that you need to sit for the CPA exam, but we also prepare you to pass the exam as well. That's a unique program. There's nothing else like that in the Bay Area here or in California that will give you college credit while preparing you to actually sit and pass for the CPA exam. So those courses are also offered here at Golden Gate at the graduate level, accounting 377, 379, 380, and 381. Although you can take those as undergraduate courses to complete your bachelor's and start on your master's, and of course, again, prepare for to sit and pass for the CPA exam. So I taught for Berkeley, San Francisco State, San Jose State for about 10 years, retired from that, continued to teach at Golden Gate as the director of the CPA Applied program, as I mentioned. I also teach at Stanford University. I teach there both for the Department of Engineering and the School of Medicine. And I also teach at De Anza College in Cupertino. So just to give you a little bit about my background, both my professional non-teaching experience and now, of course, my teaching experience. Um, as you can see on the screen here, I do have our course, Accounting 111. And if you have gotten this far, you probably found the welcome video, but I thought it'd be worthwhile to go ahead and go through some of the detailed course information with you here, which includes our guide, our grading information. And so I've already opened that. You can open it as well from your end. And you can see that this is an online asynchronous class. There are no scheduled class meetings. December 7th, today, Sunday, yesterday was the first day of class, although I'm recording this on the 8th. And the last day of class is December 20th. And you can see some information about my title, my contact information, both email and phone, and then also how to join the office hours on Thursdays. So if you want to come and have a face-to-face with me, you can click on that. Sometimes you might find yourself in the waiting room because that means I have another student What I recommend you do at that point is use this number here to text me, and I can probably give you a quick text back to say, hey, come back in 10 minutes or so, so you're not just sitting there waiting. Okay. This course might be different than other accounting. We're counting 111, but we call it the auditing course because now we're looking at the financial statements, which in other courses like intermediate, the prerequisites to this class, that you've been in the position of preparing the statements and understanding how they're prepared. Now we're going to be taking prepared statements and understanding how to audit them, how to ensure that the entity properly followed the generally accepted accounting principles, GAAP, okay, pretty much promulgated by the FASB is what's contemplated in most cases, and see that there is evidence to support what they put in the financial statements so we can ultimately render an opinion on those financial statements. And then users of the financial statements, right? We have the preparers, we have the auditors, and then those that use the statements will be able to know that there's some level of reliability because an independent auditor, a CPA, looked at those financial statements. And that's really what we're going to be focusing on, and that's sort of what our objectives are as we go through and look at this information. Now, the textbook is optional. You do not have to acquire the textbook. I have provided a link URL that you will follow to register for the course, and they give you a 2-week trial period. During that 2 weeks, you can see if you think the book information will be helpful for you. If you do, then the 2-week trial period would expire and you'll have to provide payment information, and McGraw-Hill will set you up with your account so you can continue to access the information past that 2-week period. If you have decided at that point, hey, I really don't need the textbook, you don't have to acquire it. It is entirely up to you as to whether or not you want to acquire that. But note that, once the 2-week period expires, then you won't be able to access the information anymore until you provide payment information. But you don't have to get the textbook. Okay, various resources, the bookstore, and so forth. I say best way to contact me is by phone, just because I feel like these days we're all into texting and email. Sometimes a phone call conversation will allow us to quickly avoid any misunderstanding, misinterpretation, and quickly get to, what we want to communicate. So don't be shy to use that phone number I gave you up there. That's my cell phone. It's always on. Okay. And if you decide you want to, talk to me, then you can give me a call there. Okay. Don't be shy about that. Course requirements, grading policy. We will have 3 exams, 2 midterms, and a final. And I'll show you where you'll be accessing those on the dates that they're opened on e-learning here in a second. The final is like a glorified midterm. It is not comprehensive, and it is worth 100 points, just like the 2 midterms are. We will also have a written assignment. It'll be 3 pages. I haven't decided the topic yet, but I'll be providing that here soon. So you can, get that scheduled and decide to, get that turned in. It'll be due by the last day of class. Okay, so that's not something that I'm urgent right at this time, but be looking for that. I will be posting up an assignment for that. You can see the grading, nothing earth-shattering here. Note that you can get an A+ in this class. If you get 100%, I let you come down a little bit below the 100%, down to 97. 96.99999 is not 97. Okay, 97 is 97, so it has to be 97 or higher for the A+, and so forth. And you can see the sliding scale here. Most of my students live up here. I do have some students that fall down here, and the most common cause of that is simply blowing off and not turning in an assignment, not taking one of the midterms, not handing in the write-up that I'm going to ask you to do. I think I'm pretty straightforward. I know I'm straightforward in what I ask you to understand. And I think that my exams do follow very much what I talk about in the class and what I prepare you for in the class. So I think it's pretty common to see folks fall up here. I mean, with some effort, okay, I don't want to say it's easy, but with some effort, some decent amount of effort, you will definitely end up in here. I am not patient at all for missing exams. I open them for a full week and I'm just do not have patience for missing the exam. It seems like every term I do have students that miss the exam, and I am just not sympathetic to that. I will not reopen the exam for you. I will not, give you another chance. If you miss the exam, that's a zero, and that will adversely affect your grade. So that's the main, sort of warning I have to give you right now is don't miss the exams. And I'm going to show you the dates here as we go through the syllabus. I've already talked about my experience, but if you want to read through that a little bit more, you can. You can see the course outline, the dates, okay, as to when we'll be covering material. Those lectures are open to you now. If you want to look at the lecture for chapter one, for example, this would be the week to do that. I don't recommend, I don't know why some students think that there's some benefit to rushing through and looking at all of these the first day and then sitting there and waiting for the exam to be open because I am not going to open it early. Okay, this is not something that you're going to rush through in 2 days and say, there, I'm done with the course and I can turn my attention to other things. You're going to need to take these exams when they are opened, and you're going to be watching these lectures and so forth because they prepare you for it. I'll show you where the lectures are on e-learning in a minute. And so my advice is 1 week at a time, as you see listed out here. You see the exam dates in red. Do not miss the exams. It will not be a pretty sight. You will not be happy if you miss the exam. Okay. And neither will I. Okay. And so you can see in the final, as you can see, just covers chapters from the last midterm to the last lectures of the class. It is not comprehensive. Okay. All right. So that's sort of the way the grading and so forth is laid out. Let's look at e-learning real quick. And there will be announcements up here from time to time. You can see the syllabus here is laid out in the required GGU format. There's some differences in the grading scale. For example, they don't allow me to put an A plus as a grade in there, but you've seen that if you are almost perfect, I will give you an A plus. I really recommend you look at that detailed course guidance that I just showed you here. Okay, if you don't see it, this video posted here yet because I'm recording it as we speak, but obviously if you're looking at this, you found this. Okay, exams and assignments, okay, the midterms, okay, are here. Okay, and so you can see the midterm, and I do give you a lecture on how to get ready for the midterm, and then you'll find that the actual midterm questions are very similar. The exam opens at 12 a.m. on Sunday, October 12th, 2025. And then it sits open for a full week, all the way until October 18th at 11:59 p.m. So that entire week it is open, and you should pick a 3-hour window as to when you will complete 20 multiple choice questions and one objective format question. The exam closes hard on you at 11:59 on October 18th, 2025. Guys, don't miss this window of time. You pick a 3-hour window, maybe the Wednesday of that week, whatever. Okay. Don't wait until 9 p.m. on October 18th because something's going to happen. And then you're not going to be able to get the full 3 hours. And then you're going to want to come back and say, hey, is there something that can be done? And the answer is no. Okay. Don't open the exam until you are ready to start it. And you can use any material from this class. You can have any material from this class open to you at that time. You cannot use information that may be posted on the web somewhere saying, hey, here's what John Lord's exam is going to be or something. That is not okay. And with AI and whatnot, I know that's tempting. Don't do that. Okay, do not do that. One other comment about AI for the written assignment. I'll get students that'll want to use AI for that, and they'll just whatever AI spits out, that's what they'll provide me. And that is not advisable because I catch that, and there's always some little silly thing in there that makes it clear that it was an AI generated thing, and that often constitutes a zero. I don't mind if you use AI to maybe get started with a thing. But if you just turn into me whatever AI spits out, it's going to show, and I'm going to grade you harshly for that. For example, I have had guest speakers come as the written project. I don't know if I'll do that this term, but I've had guest speakers come as the written assignment, and somebody puts in guest speaker write up for Professor Lord's class. And what AI returns to them is that Professor Lord said this, Professor Lord said that. Meanwhile, I wasn't the speaker. That is a clear indication that the student just used AI, didn't check the work of AI, just let whatever AI spit out, they turned into me, and that constitutes a zero on that paper. So be very careful. You want to use AI as a tool to get started. I don't have a problem with that. You try to make AI the end all and be all of what the answer to that paper should be, you're gonna run into problems. Or if you're trying to access AI to help you with the midterms, that's going to be a problem. Okay, you can see same setup for midterm two. Okay, and then same thing for the final exam. Full weeks are open. Note the dates. Take them during the dates. Okay, and then you can see chapter by chapter. We have lectures, we have slides. What I suggest is you download the slides, maybe in a format where you can mark them up with your tablet or something, or if you want to print them to have them to mark up, make your notes and so forth. In there, you will see various um, examples of questions that are similar to the ones that'll be on the midterm, and that's how you prepare for the midterm, and then you take the midterms during the appropriate dates. So very straightforward, guys. I don't give you surprises. The things that you will see on the midterms and the final are going to be very, very similar to the practice things that I talk about in these various lectures and so forth. Okay, you can see all the different chapters there. Okay, so that's where you take the exams right here in e-learning under the heading exams and assignments. Okay. Um, let's talk about the textbook a little bit some more. So in the syllabus there, right? I'm not supposed to call it a syllabus, in the detailed course guidance. Okay. I gave you the link. Okay. So you follow that link, you register for the course. Don't give them any money at first. Okay. But just to show you what that'll look like once you get into where I have set up. Don't just go straight to McGraw-Hill and start buying the book and you have to follow that link. It's a McGraw-Hill product, okay? And you can see that once you're in, okay, to the course, okay, and I'm going to view all assignments, okay, and there they are. And you can go ahead and you get some work with the different chapters. Now, again, I suggest that for the first couple of chapters during that 2 week trial period, okay, which will start running probably about today, that 2 week trial period, you go ahead and you see, okay, is this helpful? And if you think it's helpful, then, and I would just wait for when you click to join the class and then it says, hey, your free trial period has expired. If you think the information was helpful, acquire the book at that time and you can go forward from that and be in good shape to then continue to access that material. If you don't want to do that, that's okay too. You don't have to. The textbook, as I've stated, is entirely optional. Okay, it is optional. Okay, well, hopefully that is helpful. Again, if there are questions, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me, and we'll work together on that. So looking forward to working with you. Good luck this trimester, this term.